Today we are going to discuss R.K. Narayan's short story An Astrologer's Day. An Astrologer's Day is a short story written by R.K. Narayan, which is considered one of the best short story in Indian English fiction. So first of all, we will say something about the author. Rasipuram Krishnaswamy Iyer Narayan Swamy is the full name of R.K. Narayan, and he can be regarded as one of the best Indian writers in English fiction, and he set his works in the fictional town Malgudi. He was a leading author of early Indian literature in English along with Murtaz Anand and Raja Rao. So he is included in trio of Indian English literature. Murtaz Anand, Raja Rao and R.K. Narayan. Narayan's mentor and friend Graham Greene was instrumental in getting publishers for Narayan's first four books, including the semi-biographical trilogy of Swamy and Friends, The Bachelor of Arts, and The English Teacher. The fictional town of Malgudi was first introduced in Swamy and Friends. Narayan highlights the social context and everyday life of his characters. He has been compared to William Faulkner, who also created a similar fictional town and likewise explored with humor and compassion the energy of ordinary life. Narayan's short stories have been compared with those of Guy de Maupassant because of his ability to compress a narrative. Now we begin in this short story, An Astrologer's Day. An Astrologer's Day is a thriller, suspense short story by author R.K. Narayan. While it had been published earlier, it was the titular story of Narayan's fourth collection of short stories, published in 1947 by Indian Through Publications. It was the first chapter of the world-famous collection of short stories, Malgudi Days, which was later telecasted on television. The story is set in an unamed village in India as an astrologer lays out his tools of trade, a mix of cowrie shells, obscure charts, a notebook and other such curious. They serve no purpose but to create the illusion of mysticism. The astrologer has also printed his forehead with a scaled with shepherd ass, wrapped his head in a turban, and seated himself and his chair beneath a large tree. All of these things serve to give him an air of wisdom, transcendence, and prophetic power. Though the narrator is quick to point out that none of these qualities actually belong to the man. The astrologer has set up his little shop amidst a busy marketplace among people fencing stolen goods, presenting the same cheap food as a variety of gourmet delicacies and auctioning of low-quality fabrics. Astrologer, quickly established as a fraud, is in the company of other fraudsters and spin doctors, selling their wares and making their livings. The marketplace is lit by various shop lights and flares, the dancing shadows of which enhance the astrologer's mystical quality. He notably has no light of his own, but simply borrows that of the other vendors. The astrologer had never had any intention of becoming one, but had been forced to leave his ancestral home and travel several hundred miles away with no plan and no money. Even so, he is a convincing holy man, using his own insights into human problems to offer vague but comforting advice to people in the market. He functions as a sort of therapist, offering self-affirming advice that he wraps in the guise of astrological wisdom. He is good at his trade. He tells people what they want to hear and they are comforted by it, though it is not an honest living faith. The astrologer makes it is still a wave and one. At the marketplace is emptying and the lights are being put out. A stranger named Guru Nayak appears. In the darkness, neither can see much of the other's face. Seeing the opportunity for one more climb, the astrologer invites Guru Nayak to sit and chat. The stranger does so, but is instantly skeptical of the astrologer. He aggressively beggars that the astrologer cannot tell him anything true or worthwhile. They heckle over the price and the astrologer agrees. However, when Guru Nayak lights his children, the astrologer catches a brief glimpse of the man's face and is filled with fear. He tries to get out of the beggar, but Guru Nayak holds him to it and will not let him leave. The astrologer tries his usual type of self-affirming advice, but Guru Nayak will have none of it. The astrologer sincerely pleads for a moment and then changes course. He reveals to Guru Nanak that he knows he was once stepped through the chest and left for the dead, and that now Guru Nanak is here searching for his assailant. He even reveals that he knows Guru Nanak's name, something he attributes to his cosmic wisdom. Guru Nanak is greatly excited by all of this, believing the astrologer to really be all knowing. He presses the astrologer for the whereabouts of the man who stabbed him so that he can have his revenge. The astrologer tells him that he died several months ago, crushed by an oncoming trolley. Guru Nanak is frustrated by this, but satisfied that at least his attacker died terribly. He gives the astrologer his money and leaves.